Lockdown has caused a ton of anxiety for many people for completely legitimate reasons. But something that hasn't been discussed as much is the anxiety we may experience coming out of lockdown. Having to socialise again, go back to normality, is an equally valid experience. But don't you worry, today that's what I'm going to be talking about and how to deal with it. But first of all, welcome back to your favourite mental health advice / awareness and travel channel. I hope everyone's doing absolutely splendid today. Make sure you like and subscribe for more advice and travel and awareness videos because I love doing them and hopefully you can benefit from them as well. Let me know what you want to see next, and yeah, like the video. If you're watching it, like it. The first thing I want to talk about in this video is the fact that we are all in the same boat when it comes to anxiety. We're all likely to experience this coming out of lockdown because we've completely changed the way we've been living for the past almost year and a half now. We've all been isolated, we've all been lonely, and we've all been pretty bored, to be honest. And maybe some people with super strong relationships that are super confident and happy may not feel this anxiety so much, but I think it's pretty likely that the majority of us will. And that is completely normal when you're having to adjust to a new environment. Like the anxiety we felt going into lockdown, we're going to feel it coming out, and there's nothing to be ashamed of. And that's my first bit of advice. Don't be ashamed. Socializing is a skill, and sometimes when we don't do a skill for a while, getting back into it can feel quite daunting and overwhelming. It's a skill where you have to adapt and react to different things going on around you, and just like any other skill, as I said before, it's something that may feel like you've lost it after a long period of time. But the reality is, you're just a bit rusty. But with many skills, socializing is something that will come back to us easily, especially as it's so innate in our systems. It's a day-to-day thing that we do all the time. It will come back. Just give it a little bit of time. What I would recommend if you are experiencing that anxiety when you meet up with someone is just be honest. Me personally, quite a few times actually, if I've been nervous to meet up with someone or if I haven't been in the mood for socialising, I've actually just been honest and said, hey, I'm kind of nervous to meet you right now. And it's either a conversation starter or at least they know what you're experiencing. And maybe they are too. It's nice to be honest. It kind of gets a weight off your chest. You don't have to worry about being awkward, because if you are, which happens to all of us, then at least they understand why, especially if it's your friend and they know who you are and what makes you nervous and how you act when you are nervous. It makes it so much easier. You have to worry a lot less about the different things. In my opinion, people are a lot more understanding than we think. We all experience the same anxieties and the same negative feelings, but perhaps about different things. So if you tell someone that you're feeling worried or you're feeling anxious, I think most people kind of understand and they know how to act at least a little bit. And one bit of advice that may seem very obvious but also probably the hardest to follow is not to avoid social situations. Like when any of these anxiety or feeling down, those kind of emotions, our brain often tries to make us avoid the situations that are causing these feelings. In this case, avoiding socializing. Often the worst part of these negative feelings like anxiety is the stuff beforehand. The actual experience is not usually as bad as we think it will be. And as I said, we will get back into the swing of socializing and meeting up with people. You just have to take the first step, and I understand that is very overwhelming and you don't have to rush yourself into it. In terms of logistics, I would just recommend taking it slow, step by step, meeting up with a close friend and then maybe a couple for like a picnic, and just working your way up there. You don't have to go out with some big shebang and massive party with all of your friends, We have a lot more time than we realise. You don't need to rush into things and do all the amazing, super cool things that you've wanted to do for a while, because you still have time. You don't need to do it in the first month of coming out of lockdown. Don't be harsh on yourself. Realise that even though other people may be feeling confident and they may be trying to make lots of plans and meet up with people, you don't know how they're feeling. They may be experiencing the exact same anxiety as you are, but you're just approaching it in a different way. To anyone that is concerned and feeling anxious about coming out of lockdown and socialising again and seeing people and going back to normality, it's okay. I understand. The majority of people will understand. You're not alone, you're not abnormal, you are perfectly normal for experiencing this anxiety. For the past year or so, we have been absolutely bombarded with things that are going to cause us anxiety, with news about the economy and people getting ill and dying and worrying about our family members and friends. This year has completely scrambled our systems. So give yourself time to adjust. Don't rush into things unless you want to, and just take it how you want to take it. You don't need to go to big parties. Even if we're in a completely normal situation, you still don't need to do those things if you don't want to. Just trust yourself, trust your ability to get back into the normal routines, and you will be fine. And the worst case scenario is just talk to a close friend and you can work through it together. You never have to be alone in these feelings, and you are never alone because you're not the only person experiencing it. Anyway, I hope I helped just a little bit. If anyone needs any advice or help, let me know. Make sure you like, subscribe and comment and all that business, and I will see you very soon. Bye bye.